How glorious to be able to come to a place like this, the Italian Villa at Compton Acres, and network with like-minded business people, entrepreneurial thinkers. That's what we've done today at the Boardroom Network. I trust you're really going to enjoy the video.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me at the back? Well, welcome to the Italian Villa. Tim from Direct Tech. Those of you that know me, I'm a photocopier repairman by trade, but I've moved more now into the consultancy side and just helping businesses work with what they've got to find better ways of printing, scanning, and saving money, really. So that's my core bit. Me personally, well, those of you that know me, completely mad, obviously. Skin by Lynn, I like that. I've got some Skin by Lynn on. My back is looked after by Hannah Beard, so it keeps my posture straight. And if I lose any more hair, then it'll be Hair by Jay. What can I say? Local guy, lived in Wareham, born in Wareham, live in Ringwood. Just a normal guy. If I use the tag photocopier salesman, it makes me sound really scary. And people won't speak to me. And often when I'm on the phones, it's more about the danger of strangers that we were all taught when we were 4 years old. So I'm trying to break that down, and I need you guys to help me because we're here to network, we're here to help each other, and it's here just to try and make new business. And so if anyone knows the people at Kitely Solicitors or Harman Engineering or Dorset Tea, these are the kind of companies that I'm trying to work with. But when I knock on the door, they just tell me to go away. So, so anyone can give me some referrals, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, on each table, there's a goodie bag for the table ambassadors to hand out. And there's a few things in there just to have a look at. And there's a special chocolate in there for the best 1 minute. So, and it's got my tagline on it, which is talk to Tim, you see. So that's me. Tim, come and talk to me. So, and there's also a few pictures in there about colour blindness, because I only realised when I first started as an engineer that the first test I had to do was to see if I was colourblind, and I thought, oh, crikey. And luckily I'm not colourblind, so I could become a colour copier engineer, otherwise that wouldn't quite work out when I set the machine up. So, but anyway, so I won't take up any more of your time because it's too nice here. And so that's Tim from Direct Tech, the colour copier company, and if you need anything, talk to Tim. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate. I've got a chocolate.
Morning. Hopefully the sun's in your eyes and you can't see me. It was only yesterday I was with my colleagues and the girl that works with me said, you look like the after photo. And I said, oh, what? Slimming or some makeover? And she said, no, those meth addict photos. Which, really crushed me. So hopefully the sun's in your eyes and you can't see me, but if you can. I'm a bit of an imposter, really, why I'm up here even. Jackie asked me to fill a slot at the last TBN meeting for about 5 minutes, and it was only because we'd had a chat about networking, and she said, oh, you should say some of that to people at another networking event. I said, yeah, if you want. And then she phoned me up the day before the last TBN and said, you're on. It's okay, and then I got canned, and then she texted me yesterday and said, you're on again. So I've not really thought about this too much, but I just thought I'd try and remember what I was talking to her about, and maybe for some of you that aren't so experienced at networking, because for some of you this is telling grandmothers how to suck eggs, I just thought I'd give you some useful tips. I started networking about 3 years ago, and I can remember my first ever attempt at it. I walked into a bar, and I'm not that subtle, a bit like Chewbacca in that Star Wars scene, and I'm just stood there, this giant ginger beast, and I didn't know a soul, and I went round the room and I was trying to talk to people, and all I had in my head the whole time was, I've got to find a customer, I've got to find a client, I've got to justify why I'm here. And I was there for 2 hours and I was useless, just scared people off, and I left and I had nothing. And then I came to a TBN, and I can remember my first TBN, and again, the whole time I was sat at that table, all I was thinking about was, what's my minute pitch going to be? How am I going to find a client in 1 minute? And I didn't listen to a word anyone else said because I was just thinking about what I was going to say. And I had networking completely wrong. And it took me a while to get my head around it. And now I have to say, 3 years on, I'm in a business, and we don't do, shut your ears, any marketing people. We do no marketing, we do no advertising, we do no PR. All the work we get is through introduction. And all of those introducers have come to us through networking. So I thought I'd just share 3 or 4 little tips. And the reason I sort of was having this conversation with Jackie, she asked me to speak, and I said, why are you asking me to get up? Because whenever I come here, there's 100 people. And I said, but I constantly seem to see the same 15, 20 people recycled up on the stage often. That not everybody has a go. And she said, oh, people don't want to have a go. And I said, oh, well, they should, there's a lot to be added. So the 3 things I learned, the 3 tips, and then what I tell you to do about them. The first one was always stop worrying about trying to sell. Just try and engage. Use stories. Stories are a remarkable way of engaging with people. We're hardwired from probably when we were sitting around campfires and sharing our folk tales and our myths about how we got here and how we're going to live in society. We're absolutely hardwired. As soon as you start telling a story, it sets off apparently oxytocin, and you immediately start getting empathetic and connecting with people. So try and tell a story. Don't try and sell. Just try and tell people stories about how you do things, what you do, who you are, and just try and connect with people on a human level. It was Tony that said at the beginning of the day here that he looks around this room, well, not the room, he looks around all these tables and he sees friends. And I think that's really true. For those of you that have been here a while and part of networks, I think you do consider lots of people around here your friends, and business is secondary to that. So always tell your story. The second one is listen to other people's, and genuinely listen. When people are telling you something, I've been amazed over the years now who's been useful to me and who I've been able to be useful to, because I've listened to them and I've listened to their story, and I've really tried to make connections for people that have nothing to do with my business. And I could look around here now and where's Guy? Guy. He said, point to me, so I've just pointed to Guy, because Guy is a guy I met with we only met a few months ago, and he told me about what he's doing, but he also told me about a business that he looks up to, and a company that's years ahead of him in terms of what he's trying to achieve, and they're the market leaders down here. And the owner of that company happens to be someone that I played rugby with for years and spent 5 nights sharing a room with in Ibiza. And with one phone call, I was able to hook Guy up with this, and it's worked out all right for you, hasn't it? Yeah, say yes. Yes. All right. That's all right, Guy. Thank you. So, really listen to people and try and make connections. I think there's a bit of a mantra. Everybody knows somebody that you should know. And unless you share your stories and listen to each other, you're going to really struggle to ever work out how you can help each other and who can help you. What's the third thing? What was my third thing? Tell me the story. Be a good sport. And it goes back to really that sharing thing. Being a good sport is not someone that can turn up and win every time. It's not someone that can dribble the ball from one end of the pitch to the other and score the goal. You might win the odd game, but no one's going to invite you to keep playing. Being a good sport is really about knowing how to be a good team member, how to reciprocate, how to share. And you can only do that, like I said, if you really understand each other. And if we all are good sports for each other, there's 100 other people out here that are going to help you sell your business and your services. So be a good sport. So my tips around networking, then just how you're going to do this. I really would encourage you. It's terrifying being up here. I can understand why you wouldn't want to stand up here. I'm nervous. This is terrifying. You're all looking at me thinking, when's the idiot going to shut up? We want to leave now. But I encourage you to do it, to stand up and tell people what you do. And the first time I did this, I think I hit the phones afterwards, and I phoned up everybody that was at the meeting and said, did you hear me? Did it resonate? And that worked really quite well for me, and it was a nice way to make one-to-one connections. So don't just come here and think this is the be-all and end-all of networking. This is like your foot in the door. This is the first step. Always, always go for a one-to-one with people, either over the phone, but if you can, phone people up and go out and see them. And you'll be amazed how many people in the room, and I've done this, I've sat on a table with someone 8 or 9 times over a networking session, and they've never said to me, Lee, can you help me? And I've phoned them up and I've had a one-to-one, and the first thing they say is, I've been meaning to talk to you for a year, I wonder if you can help me. And it's just the mentality of when you're here is I think people are worried about doing their pitch and where they're going to go. Always have a one-to-one. Phone people up, go out and meet them, and the connections you can make with people if you spend an hour chatting and getting to know them, telling them your story, hearing theirs, working out how to be a good sport, and then sharing and helping each other. That's the art of networking. If you come here 2 or 3 times and think, I've not sold anything, I'm not going back, you've got it wrong. Connections, long-term connections, friendships and helping each other. And that was kind of what I talked to Jackie. Was that what I talked to you about, Jackie? Because I've just made that up on the spot and I can't really remember. Was it what I said? It was. Okay. So other than that, have a wonderful day, safe journeys home. Do you want to do the end bit or would you like me to finish off for you, Joe? No.
I don't mind.
Come on. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you very much.
This has been the Boardroom Network on location at the glorious Italian villa